We are now on day 61 since learning of the first patient in the Chicago area. Since then, hundreds more, including police officers and firefighters.
That is where we begin. CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozloff just back from a news conference at police headquarters. Dana, you asked about concerns for the officers' safety.
Yeah, Erica and Brad, it was really the first time we've had a chance to hear from interim Chicago Police Superintendent Charlie Beck since coronavirus concerns, cases, and precautions were ramping up. And one of the first things he discussed was the number of diagnosed cases, COVID-19 cases, currently within the Chicago Police Department. 6 cases diagnosed so far, 2 from the same facility. 2 people diagnosed, he says, are in the hospital. Those diagnosed range from a couple of detectives, Beck says, to a couple of patrol officers and a member of the police department's community relations staff. And he says concerns about exposure within the department are being addressed.
Once a sick member is identified, special attention is paid to their workstation, their vehicle, and frequently visited common areas.
Beck says he's also aware there may be anxiety among police officers who are currently out working on the street every day in contact with people. He says 12,000 safety kits, including masks and gloves, have been distributed so far to patrol officers. But I've had several officers reach out to me and say they don't have access to those kits. And some also are concerned about the kits they are receiving as to whether or not they are properly sanitized.
Well, I'd be interested in the timing on these conversations with you, because I've been to 8 districts in the last couple of days, and all of them have PPE. I personally inspected them to make sure that my directions were being followed. You know, one of the reasons.
The head of the Chicago Fire Department was also at the news conference this afternoon. 5 cases now diagnosed within the Chicago Fire Department, although he says that all of those diagnosed are home and doing fine. A question was asked about whether police stations and firehouses, being public places, should remain open during the stay-at-home order. And the head of Chicago's Public Health Department said, well, they are essential places, and so, yes, they should remain open. But again, interim police superintendent Charlie Beck saying precautions are being taken. Brad?
Okay, Dana, I was going to ask you about some concerns about homeless people and others using those stations and lobbies for shelter. But let's go back to the PPE, because like you, my sources are telling me, frankly, first of all, they don't have enough. Second of all, we've known from the get-go, it kind of hasn't been you know, their best performance, in that the hand sanitizer was 5 years expired. On the ground, juxtaposed from what the superintendent's saying, on the ground, are you hearing of any improvements?
Well, a lot of the officers that have reached out to me have honestly reached out to me over the last couple of days. So, no, I haven't heard of any improvements from those officers on the ground. But again, I've really been just communicating with them over the past 48 hours. But to add to what Superintendent Beck said this afternoon, he says more kits are on their way and they're being distributed. And quite honestly, we didn't have a chance to ask him about those hand sanitizer concerns.
All right, so time frame. Maybe that stuff is coming. Dana, thank you.